what I want to plan here, I'm just planning. I told you previously also, I'm just planning to take revision on Saturday. Yes. So Saturday, whatever you are having doubt regarding class test 1, you can ask there. I'll post link in in official group for whatever you are having doubt, I'll clear there for your class test 1. Yes. Now, see, I have to think regarding class test 2 also. So, I am just quickly go for today's some topic, and then I'll move for again class test. Yes. So, let us. I want to share my screen here. Before that, what I want to tell you that thing, I'll just go for here. Yes. I'm sharing my screen here. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. दिशा दिशा प्लीज म्यूट योर सेल्फ म्यूट करो खुद को दिशा प्लीज म्यूट योर सेल्फ yes now I have to go for this. Yes, last time in last lecture I was gone for Lebanese theorem. Yes, so quickly I just revise the thing. Last time I told you that whenever I'm having function contains two multiplication of two terms, at that time definitely we have to use Lebanese theorem. And what I told you that I have to consider u in such a manner I can write nth derivative of u. I will going to decide v in such a manner that after first or second derivative, mostly up to maximum up to fourth derivative, I can have derivatives, and further higher order derivatives I must have to get. Like that way, I have to decide u and v. Yes. Now quickly, I'm just going for the function y is equal to x square into cos 3x. Yes, and I require such nth derivative here. So definitely, I'll just going to decide that I have to use Leibniz theorem. So what I'll consider again, I'll consider v is equal to x square and u as cos 3x. So I can have nth derivative, and as I'm having v is equal to x square, we know that up to second order derivative only we will have nth derivative, and for the high order derivatives we will get that as 0. Yes. So for x square into cos 3x, we're using Leibniz theorem here up to 1 t terms, and further we will have, further you will have definitely derivatives of v as 0. Is derivatives of v as 0, so you can observe only 1 2 and third term you will get here. 1 2 third term you're getting it here, and in this third term you can find derivative of v is equal to 2, which is constant. For the higher order derivatives you are having 0. Yes. So like that way we will going to have Leibniz theorem when I'm having multiplication of two terms. Yes, so last time I told you that we will have examples. Actually, university asks this pattern of example. Which pattern of examples that I want to share with you, and 200% these examples will going to ask in end semester exam, also in class test 2. So this topic is not included in class test 1, so this topic definitely include in class test 2. For class test 2, definitely examples on Leibniz theorem I will going to ask, plus at end semester exam these questions will be there. Yes. So how I'm having questions, see, whenever I'm having y is equal to tan inverse of x, I have to prove the statement. Is how I'm having statement. I am having statement in this form: 1 plus x square yn plus 2 plus 2 into yn plus 1. You can find yn plus 1, yn term. Its coefficient I'm having here in terms of n, sometimes in terms of x. Is so whenever some function y is equal to tan inverse of x, some function is mentioned, and I have to prove certain statement. Those statements are in terms of yn plus 1, yn plus 2. It means that it implies that for this example you have to use Leibniz theorem. Is you have to use Leibniz theorem here. Is this is the clue to use Leibniz theorem for the example. Whenever I'm having y is equal to tan inverse of x and I'm getting a statement y is equal to certain function, in the required statement, whenever I'm having yn plus 1, yn plus 2, it means that we have to use definitely Leibniz theorem. But for Leibniz theorem, what I told you that for Leibniz theorem, I require my function should be multiplication of two terms. Yes. So what I'm going to do, I have to write my function in terms of multiplication of two terms, then only I can use Leibniz theorem. Yes. But what I know that yn means nth derivative. I know that yn plus 1 means n plus 1th derivative. I am having yn plus 2 means n plus 2th derivative. Yes. So whenever I'm having yn plus 1, higher order derivative is yn plus 2. Whenever I'm having yn plus 2, that is n plus 2th derivative of y, at that time I will going to differentiate y two times. Yes, I will going to differentiate y two times. So whenever you are having yn plus 2, differentiate y two times, so that you can have y1, y2. Yes, this second thing you have to remember is when the required statement contains yn plus 2, it means that you will going to differentiate y two times and have statement in terms of y1, y2. Whenever the given statement required statement contains only yn plus 1, differentiate y only once, so that have statement in terms of y1. Yes, so like that way you will proceed. So I am just going for differentiating y two times. I am having y is equal to tan inverse of x, differentiating both the sides, so you are having y1 is 1 upon 1 plus x square. Yes, I'm just writing y is equal to 1 upon 1 plus x square. Multiplying both the sides by 1 plus x square, you are getting 1 plus x square, y1 is equal to y. Yes, so I'm having this statement which contains y1. Again, I have to differentiate it because right now only I told you that differentiate y two times, so that y2 will be going to appear. Differentiate it. Yes, you will going to differentiate it left hand side. So as we are differentiating left hand side, so it will be multiplication of two terms. Yes, so use u into v rule here. So 1 plus x square, differentiate y1, so you will have y2 plus y1, you will going to keep that as it is. Derivative of 1 plus x is twice x. So just multiply 1 plus x square into y1. Use derivative as u into v rule here. Yes. So this is the statement. This is the statement we require. Yes. This statement is too much important for Leibniz theorem. Is what I told you that yn plus 2 it appears, so differentiate y two times, and I getting this statement in terms of y1, y2 and y is too much important. Yes. So now after having statement in terms of y1 and y2, I will going to use Leibniz theorem here. Leibniz theorem here. Now second clue, one more clue you have to remember. Now I have to use Leibniz theorem for this statement here. Remember, while using Leibniz theorem, you will going to apply Leibniz theorem first for first term separately. You will going to apply Leibniz theorem for second term separately. Yes, apply Leibniz theorem for first term and second term separately. And remember that y terms always considered as u term, and remaining term you will consider those as v. Yes, y term should be considered as u, and v terms are the remaining terms. So for first term, u is y2, and 1 plus x square you will consider as v. Second term, you will consider as y1, and second term you will consider v as 2x here. Yes. So like that way, for I'm just writing u as y2 and v as 1 plus x square. Yes. So we know that whenever I'm having v as 1 plus x square up to second derivative, I'll have derivative of v as constant. So I'm writing v1 is equal to 2x. I'm having v2 is equal to 2. Yes, when I'll go for taking nth derivative for y2 will not we will definitely get it as yn plus 2. When I'll go for taking n decreased derivative of it, so I'll have yn plus 1. Again, when I'm differentiating, I'm just getting yn. Yes, the same thing, I'm just repeating it here. As I'm having u is equal to y2, I'll just go for taking nth derivative of both the sides, that I'm just getting un is equal to yn plus 2. Decrease derivative of un by 1, so you will have un minus 1, and right hand side also you will have yn plus 1. Second derivative, I'll just decrease of derivative of un minus 1 by 1. I'm having un minus 2, and right hand side I'm having yn. See why I'm just having un minus 1, un minus 2. For first term, when I'm using Leibniz theorem, at that time, definitely I require it. Now I'm just preparing for Leibniz theorem. Now for second term, as I told you, y terms I have to consider it as u, and v I'm considering it as twice x. So for v, as it is twice x, I'm just getting v1 only. When I'm differentiating v one time, I'm just getting v1 is constant. Further derivative of v are 0. Is when I'm taking u is equal to y1, its nth derivative, I'm just having it as yn plus 1. I require only un. I don't require un plus 1, un plus 2, because only first derivative exists there. Yes. So for first and second term, I am just preparing what I'm having u, what I'm having v, what I'm having un, what I'm having un minus 1, and so on. Now my next step is just use Leibniz theorem for first term separately and second term separately. Yes, somebody unmute. Please mute. I'm just getting disturbed. Also, similarly, other students are also getting disturbed. Please mute.
वापस से बताओ ना वो वाला.
Please mute. Who is talking? Please mute.
वापस से बताओ मैम.
म्यूट करो. Who is talking? Please mute. सिद्धेश गावडे, म्यूट करा स्वतःला. Whether you're talking, I don't know.
परत सांगा
सिद्धेश
ना मॅम.
कोणतं?
हेच सम ते काल नाही Y2 चं.
White. Okay, okay. ठीक है. I will going to repeat it again, because some of the students, see, some of the students are having doubt regarding their data and all these things. That's why I have to complete this again for you, Siddesh. After 2 o'clock, I'll just go for explaining, because those who want to have restricted data, I will going to allow them to leave after taking attendance, and then I'll go for your doubts and all these things. Yes. So for first and second term, I'm just preparing for u, v, and derivatives. I'm using Leibniz theorem for first term separately. Leibniz theorem I'm just using second term separately. I'm just substituting these values here. Yes. So for first term, I am having un plus 2 into v is 1 plus x square. nc1, I'm having nc0, that I'm substituting 1 here. Is nc1 I'm having n. Now decrease derivative of yn plus 2 by 1, so I'm having yn plus 1. 1 plus x square, you will differentiate it so that you can observe you are having twice x here. Since I'm not getting derivative of v as constant, so I have to go for nc2, and that value I'm substituting n into n minus 1 upon 2. Into derivative of 2x, I'm having 2. Decrease derivative of yn plus 1 by 1, so you will have yn, and at this moment, I'm just getting derivative of v is constant. Further terms of Leibniz theorem for first terms are 0. So we will going to stop here for first term. Yes. Now for second term, we will going to think for using Leibniz theorem for second term, where I'm having u is equal to y1 and v is equal to twice x. So for second term, I'm having nc0. I'm just writing 1. un is I'm having un is yn plus 1 into v I'm having twice x is plus nc1 is nc1 I'm substituting n decrease derivative of yn plus 1 by 1 so I'm having yn into derivative of 2x I'm having 2 and you can observe in second term only I'm just getting value for v is constant so further derivatives of v will be 0 will going to stop there only. Yes. So like that way, you are getting the statement which contains yn plus 2, yn plus 1, yn there. Now the things are here in such a manner. Add coefficients of yn plus 1, yn is here. I'm just adding coefficient of yn plus 1, yn. I'm not having any yn plus 2 terms, so it will remain as it is and just go for adjusting the terms. You're getting required statement. So these questions on Leibniz theorem where you are having yn plus 1, yn plus 2 will definitely going to ask in university exam and for class test 2 also. Is what I give you guarantee 200% this examples will going to ask. It is for 6 marks or up to 8 marks questions are there. Yes, similar is the pattern. I'm having one more example here. Whenever I'm having y is equal to sine inverse x, you will going to show this type of statement. 1 minus x square yn plus 2 minus twice n plus 1 into x yn plus 1 minus n square yn. This statement again what you are finding y is equal to sine inverse of x dimension. And in the required statement you are having yn plus 1 yn plus 2 means you will going to differentiate y 2 times is so you must have to get a statement which contains y y1 y2 that statement you must have to get here is differentiating both the sides with respect to x so you are having y1 1 upon root 1 minus x square again differentiate the same statement 1 minus root of 1 minus x square into y1 is equal to y. You are getting this statement now in terms of y1 y2 just readjust the term readjusting the terms in terms of y y1 y2 whatever you're getting now for this you have to use Leibniz theorem separately for first term and second term. What I was gone for previous example in the similar manner you have to use Leibniz theorem separately for first and second term, substitute values of combinations there, definitely you will get the required statement here. Yes. So like that way the similar pattern of examples whenever I'm having y is tan inverse of x or sine inverse of x we're having similar pattern of examples here. Now what I want to share with you the example where it contains not the same thing, it contains yn minus 1. Let me just check it whether this example is here or not. Yes, this example is here. That example I want to share with you actually. Yes, one of the different pattern of example I want to share with you. The example is this is the example. This is quite different. I'm saying not difficult but different example here. I want to share with you. This example is what I can say strange, twisted example. Yes. So what I'm having this example y is equal to root of 1 plus x upon 1 minus x. I'm having two sub questions here. First, I want to show y is equal to 1 minus x square into y1 and hence I have to prove 1 minus x square where I'm having yn minus 1, yn minus 2. So as I was gone for previous example there I was having yn plus 2, yn plus 1 and yn. Now here in this statement I'm having yn minus 1, yn minus 2. What I know that yn minus 1 means n minus 1 third derivative. Yn minus 2 means n minus 2 third derivative. Yes, here higher derivative is yn. Regarding how to use Leibniz theorem. Yes, so before going for this statement let me go for proving y as 1 minus x square into y1. Yes, so I will going to differentiate as y1 occurs, so definitely I have to differentiate it. I will going to prove the statement y is equal to 1 minus x square into y1 and the same statement I have to use for Leibniz theorem for getting the required statement. How to use that? Yes. So let us think regarding y is equal to 1 minus x square into y1. Yes. So for this example, everybody will going to use the trick that just go for taking log of both the sides. This is the trick to go for this example here. Yes, if you'll go for differentiating it directly, you will not get required statement. So which trick you will going to use? Just go for taking logs of both the side. So you will have log y is equal to root of log of 1 plus x upon 1 minus x raised to 1 by 2. So I'm using rule of logarithm here. Yes, so I'm having 1 by 2 log of numerator upon denominator. So I'm just writing log numerator minus log denominator. Is differentiate both the sides with respect to x. So the derivative of log y is 1 by y into y1, 1 by 2, 1 upon 1 plus x minus 1 upon 1 minus x into derivative of 1 minus x is minus 1. If you'll go for taking LCM for right hand side, definitely you will get 1 upon 1 minus x square, and readjust the term. You're getting first sub question here. Is first sub question you are getting 1 minus x square y1 is equal to y. Now I have to use, now the same statement I have to use for Leibniz theorem for getting yn minus 1, yn minus 2. This statement, for getting this statement, I have to use y is equal to 1 minus x square into y1 there. Yes. Now, how to use Leibniz theorem here? Previously, I was using Leibniz theorem, and I told you that if I'm having yn plus 2, just go for using Leibniz theorem. Yes, just go for differentiating y two times. You can have y2 and use Leibniz theorem so that nth derivative of y2 becomes yn plus 2. Now, here I require higher term to be yn, but here I'm having y1. So if I'll go for taking Leibniz theorem directly, I'll have yn plus 1 term, but I don't require that. I require yn term. So I will going to use Leibniz theorem for n minus 1th derivative, not nth derivative, but n minus 1th derivative. So how to go for? Just use Leibniz theorem in such a manner that where you are having n, there just replace n by n minus 1. The rest of the thing remains as it is. So y terms you will consider as u, and the remaining term you will consider it as v. Yes, so the same thing I'm just using here. I'm just using Leibniz theorem for n minus 1th derivative. So right hand side y I'm having, I'm just writing yn minus 1. Yes, for Leibniz theorem, I'm just having nc0 un into v plus nc1 un minus 1 into v1 and so on. So where I'm having n, the same statement I'm using, just replace n by n minus 1. Rest of the things are as it is. Substitute values, definitely you will get required statement. Yes, so for this example, what I told you that for getting this first sub question, just take logs of both the sides, and you will definitely get y is equal to 1 minus x square into y1. Then second hint is you will going to use Leibniz theorem for n minus 1th derivative. Don't go for taking nth derivative directly. So these are the examples related with Leibniz theorem. And further, what I told you that I am just planning for taking revision tomorrow. I'll just post link in, I hope I'll post a link in Google, not Google Classroom, on WhatsApp for taking tomorrow's revision there. Those who are having doubt regarding your class test, regarding today's lecture, I'll just clear their doubt. Before that, I will going to take attendance, and those who are having net issue, net problem, or any of the problem not getting me in all these things, uh, they will going to leave after taking attendance. C division, please give me your attendance.